Honduras, of course, not of the AFC. And from the two sets of supporters, they're ready, not quite for kick-off, but for the national anthems. Milligan, Moy and Wright, the survivors from that last international here in Canberra against Kyrgyzstan in 2015. Now Johan Karladev sprung a bit of a surprise by leaving out Nepal's star striker Bimal Gartimar to win. I think probably even Nepal expect them to win. They do have the Gurkha spirit, they'll fight hard, could be an interesting night ahead. Nepal not quite ready. They were in the huddle. Now we're underway. Australia getting the ball rolling. The first ever meeting between Australia and Nepal. And perhaps fitting to say that, as you saw from our little caption just a few moments ago, we got Kevin Muscat with us in co-commentary as well. Tonight could be a chance here for Australia. Oh, Kieran Jemjong got it all horribly wrong and it rebounded back off Jamie McLaren. Wonderful. See what Aussie's Bage can do here. It's just going to run away from him. That
well, made it nicely. You know, Simon, the recent history, going back decades, going to be bread and butter, you'd imagine, for Harry Suter, but beautiful work from Matthew Leckie. Lovely turn, so sharp to get through once and then twice, leaving Tamang in his wake, and then the ball ricocheting. It's not been a really comfortable start from keeper Kiran.
Looking to get on the end of Moy's free kick. He goes along the ground. Craig Goodwin drives it low. It's in now. Jamie McLaren. It's taken a touch over 5 minutes. And the Melbourne City striker has just his second international goal. And Nepal's resistance has been broken. Swinger from Moy. It's the former. And Suter was waiting. It's off the bar, off the post, I should say. From Jackson Irvine, who's been close to a couple of goals already. We've not even played 10 minutes.
Another ricochet as well. It is literally like a pinball machine in there. And just to Kevin Muscat's point, again, Muskie, Jamie McLaren, uncanny positioning, just can't quite get on top of that one.
And with Jamie as well, you know, normally if teams are higher, he like
two good chances to score himself in the early stages tonight. What a roar of approval. Nepal get over halfway.
Well, typical from Ryan Grant, the number 4. He loves getting on the end and getting in behind the defence as it's lined up. Very, very smart piece of play by the Sydney FC man to head the ball back across the goal. And Jamie McLaren has found that space again. Notts home for his second, Australia's second, as is Bajic with the initial delivery. Very clever play from Ryan Grant and a tidy finish from Jamie McLaren.
And much to what we've seen right throughout the game, there was actually one fullback in Bajic swinging the ball in, and it was Ryan Grant, the other fullback on the other side there, putting it back across the box. So, you know, all the width, you know, throughout this opening stanza has been from the two fullbacks, as we mentioned. And as Robbie mentioned earlier also, it's because Leckie and Goodwin are starting out wide and then bringing their fullbacks inside nice and narrow, allowing that space for, as we said, Bajic and Grant to get forward.
Aramoy, deflection. And Kieran Jemjong is grateful to see that one deflect behind for another corner.
What a joy it is, even just 20 minutes in, to be watching Aaron Moy in the flesh again. He's such a clever player. Another ricochet to protect the Nepal goal.
Harry Suter got on the end of the last corner delivery from Goodwin on this side. Let's see if he can do so again. He does. He scored on international debut. Harry Suter, remember the name, from Fleetwood Town. And his mum Heather, born in WA, will be super proud at this very moment. He grew up supporting Australia. His brother plays for Scotland. He's just scored his first international goal for the green and gold.
Well, you're compounding the problem. They were doing well against Harry Suter when they surrounded him. And they're sort of in the proximity, the Nepal defenders, but they're not nearly tight enough. And he's just too dangerous a prospect with that extraordinary height advantage. Nice corner in, and he breaks his duck on debut.
Classy release for Goodwin. Behind him is Bajic. Milligan available again. Ryan Grant is bombing forward down the right, unmarked. Craig Goodwin gets the head up, tries to pick out either Leckie or Grant. And there's an acrobatic punch away from Kiran Chemjong. And now Nepal will look to counter, but Harry Suter's got that one covered, you'd fancy. Moy. Aaron Moy, and the wall did its job. Flicked up and over, another corner.
Well, do we have, if we don't, we should start keeping them, stats for ricochets. This is double figures at least. Good defensive wall, credit to it. Leapt in unison, glanced the ball over.
Sutar waiting again in a good position. Moy's delivery. And it'll pop for Milligan, who somehow finds a gap. Oh, the goalkeeper just hits him, I think. Kiran, he's grateful it did. Came through a whole crowd of players.
Well, that was a better defensive set. Firstly, from the defensive wall, commented on that. Then Rohit does excellently to clear the ball. Milligan does brilliantly to make space. And this is really soft handwork from the goalkeeper. That's bounced off another metre in the opening 2 minutes. But he's really found himself now, thankfully, for the sake of the contest, the Nepal keeper and captain.
He was the I-League goalkeeper of the year back in 17-18. Kiran Chemjong. But he's got a bit of pedigree. Here's Leckie. Hands raw whenever they get over halfway. Sujal Shrestha on the ball. Ranjit in advance of him. Can they at least fashion an opportunity? Imagine the noise here if they scored. Rohit Chand. No way through. They win it back through Ananta Tamang. Now with Dinesh Razbansi. Looking for the ball over the top, and it has to be pretty accurate to get over the top of Harry Suter. Abhishek Rizal appealing forlornly for a foul, which the referee was never likely to give. An order is quickly restored. It's Jackson Irvine with space and time. Nepal back in numbers now. Aaron Moy to drive, edge of the box. Never really looked likely.
Well, he should fancy himself tonight, Aaron Moy. Wonderful conditions to play on a...
That was okay. Just a little bit longer attention. He's got one. Let's come on, please, one. Last one, try. Come on, mate. Can he make it two? I mean, that one was straight at the keeper. That's right. Come on, try. He's only one. Shake it, mate. To square beat is one. We'll shake it. This one is first attempt. Next contest.
Nepal. Not in the same class technically as the Australians, but doing the nation proud at the moment. Here's Leckie inside the box. McLaren just looking to side-foot it home for his hat-trick. Took a touch on the way through. It will be an Australian corner, might have been more.
That was a nice build-up again. There's a look at the queue. Square of free players. Goodwin was running through. Jackson Irvine again. You have to suggest that maybe they were better options than Jamie McLaren on that moment.
Aaron Moy to hang it up. Suter, oh, deflected in. It is a fourth goal this time. It's got in off Dinesh Razbansi. Sutar accepts the congratulations, but I'm pretty sure that will go down as an own goal. Or maybe he will claim it, the big lad. It's some debut, whatever the case, and Australia have extended their lead to 4.
Well, again, the short one to take the attention away from Sutar, but it's not enough because in the end he wins the ball uncontested. It's not the most convincing header, let's face it. But the deflection goes the way of the Socceroos. Plenty didn't in the first half. But this time, off Dinesh, it goes into the Nepal goal.
And just as Nepal were finding a little bit of belief, Australia extend their lead, and Apostolos Yadu is being readied as perhaps the first substitution of the night. McLaren, if he's to be the man to make way, will want his hat-trick before that change. He's going to be brought to the sidelines, and he's going to be replaced by another Tamang. That's 4 we're going to have on the pitch now. This is Santos Tamang. Defensive midfielders. Johan Kalin tries to plug some of those gaps and keep the scoreline respectable. The free kick given away by one of his other changes gives Australia another opportunity. One of the things I like about Fustic is he's demanded the ball, including from this set piece. And his second international sort of sums up Australia's second half. Just not quite been up to muster. They go again through Fustic. Mobile. And credit to Nepal as well. They have defended a lot better in this second half, albeit a lot deeper. Off the chest of Irvine, McLaren, is this the hat-trick? It is! The first Australian to score a hat-trick in almost 2 years since Miller Jedinak netted 3 against Honduras in that World Cup playoff. And it's a night to remember for Jamie McLaren. And it's 5-0.
Well, look at Milligan at the base of the attack here. And his sprayed passes around all night. Jackson Irvine making the forward target, then dropping off the line. That's beautiful intuition to bounce that off his chest. Nicely timed run, good control, Jamie McLaren, and a really excellent finish. Ball bouncing away from goal, defender in close proximity. A friendly range, it's true, but he finished with aplomb.
All you can do is be there to finish those opportunities. Oh, wow, on that bill. Staggering.